This pianist, songwriter, producer, band leader, and sometimes singer was there in the creation of Tamla Motown. However, his name means little to the typical music fan. This iconic Detroit pianist and Northern Soul favorite was highly regarded by the soul community. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Richard Popcorn Wylie. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Richard Wayne Wylie was born in the Motor City on June 6, 1939. He was born into a musical household and learned to play the piano from an early age. He earned the nickname Popcorn because he was known for leaving the Northwestern high school football team's huddle rapidly. While at school, he established Popcorn and the Mohawks, a group that comprised future Motown musicians and producers James Jamerson, Clifford Mack, Eddie Willis, Mike Terry, Lamont Dozier, and Norman Whitfield. The band played at local locations, with Wylie leading the way in a handmade Mohawk headdress. James Jamerson and Clifford Mack, along with Wylie, subsequently became members of the Motown label's renowned Funk Brothers studio group. Wylie signed with the local Northern label in 1960 to record his debut single, Pretty Girl. While playing at the Detroit nightclub 20 Grand, he was seen by engineers working for the embryonic Motown label who suggested him to owner Berry Gordy Jr. Wylie quickly recorded Shimmy Gully. All over, and the feeling is so fine. This song was one of Motown's early releases. Wylie collaborated with his backing band on a pair of 1961 singles, a rendition of Barrett Strong's Money, That's What I Want. That's what I want. That's what I want. Oh yeah. And Real Good Lovin'. However, his most major effect occurred behind the scenes. As a leader of the Funk Brothers' first iteration, Wylie performed on the Miracle Shop Around and the Marvelous Please Mr. Postman, of Motown's most significant early songs, and he also led the band on the first Motown review tours. Wylie left Motown in 1962 and signed with Epic as a solo performer, and he made his label debut with Come To Me. Shortly after, followed a year later by Brand New Man. Thank you for the love that you gave. You know, you saved me from it early. And Head Over Heels in Love. According to mythology, these sessions were accompanied by jazz cult hero Son Ra and his orchestra. However, none of these singles were commercial hits, and after Epic terminated his contract following 1964's Do You Still Care For Me? Do you still care for me? Oh, yeah. Wylie freelanced as a songwriter, producer, and session player for the small Detroit labels Songbird and Rick Tick before forming his own label, Pamela, named after his three daughters. The label released a number of songs, notably the Detroit Executives' 1967 Northern Soul anthem, The Cool Off. During this period, he also composed or produced at least 24 singles for Ed Wingate's Golden World labels, which included vocalist Edwin Starr, J.J. Barnes, and were eventually bought by Motown. In 1968, Wylie returned to his own music career, staying with the Karen label long enough to create his own Northern favorite, Rosemary, What Happened? On the merry-go-round, she met a Move Over Babe, Here Comes Henry. Wylie temporarily signed with Motown Soul Division in 1971 to record Funky Rubber Band, which became one of his best known records. For unclear reasons, the record was not published until 1975, yet it quickly became a club classic in the United Kingdom and continues to be a Northern audience favorite to this day. Wylie's final sessions as a headliner included 2 more ABC singles, Lost Time and Georgia's After Hours. For several years, Wylie was unaware of the success of his previous albums on the UK Northern Soul scene, and he reportedly let his children to play frisbee with extremely collectible singles he had made and distributed. In the mid-1980s, he eventually traveled to the United Kingdom to promote his work, assisting in the production of compilation albums and collaborating with producer Ian Levine. He recorded Love Is My Middle Name, and See This Man in Love for Levine's Motor City label, as well as co-writing songs with the Contours and the Elgins, among other Motown veterans. In 2002, a collection called Popcorn's Detroit Soul Party was released, featuring a selection of his tracks on the Pamline label. He also appeared in the 2003 documentary, The Strange World of Northern Soul. Wylie passed at home in Detroit in 2008 at the age of 69 after suffering from congestive heart failure for some years. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from Richard Popcorn Wylie?